다시 돌아갈까 우리 돌아보지 말자 너무 많이 돌아왔나 우리 돌아오지 말자 핸드폰 속에 너와 나눴던 얘기들은 아직 남아 꿈에서 깨어 꿈이 아니겠지 꿈이었어도 나 헤어나오지 못했어 I don't wanna wake up just wanna back up 우리가 함께했던 것을 난 너무 슬퍼 눈을 가렸어 아무것도 보지 못하게 넌 아마 내가 오늘 미워둔 기억 속에서 나를 찾고 있겠지 더 많은 것이 오늘 갈라졌다고 난 변하지 않았어 You know what I've done to you I want my life But before I sent to you were far away This song can never reach you 이 노래 듣게 된다면 이미 늦었어 This song can never reach you 아무 일도 없는 그대로 너무 많이 돌아왔나 우리 다시 돌아갈까 너무 많이 돌아왔나 난 모를 거야 아마 날 모를 거야 자신이 미워서 한참을 울었어 그래야 기분이 나아질 것 같아서
The first one is called Enter Title Here by I'm gonna have trouble pronouncing his name Panakia. I highly doubt that I am pronouncing this right, for that I apologize. But this cover caught my eye, and so I just checked it out. And so this book is about character Reshma. Reshma is holds herself to a very high standard of things, and she wants to get into medical school, more specifically, she wants to get to Stanford. Basically, a lot of stuff happens. She wants to get a better chance of going to Stanford, so she get a literary company signs her a book deal, and she has to write a book. And write what you know, so she's gonna write what she knows herself. Except herself is, her life is not, she thinks it's kind of boring, honestly. So she does the natural thing and decides to make it not boring. And she decides to be the American girl and do normal American girl things. Like, make a friend! She should probably make a friend and get a boyfriend. And along the way, she learns some very valuable lessons in life. Like, maybe don't get a boyfriend just because you're writing a book, but I don't know. This just looks interesting. and it'll be cool to read since I'm a writer, and so I might be able to relate to some of the stuff she goes on as she goes on her voyage of self-discovery via writing a book. Ain't that the truth, sister? Butterfly. No, butterflies. It was plural. By Suzanne Gervais. Or Gervais. Gervais, I think that's how it's said. This really gives off lighthearted vibes, and it has such a sweet storyline. A girl got severely burned when she was young. Isn't that so sweet? Anyway, this girl, Catherine, is 18 now, and she has longed for the day that she will look like everyone else and achieve her dreams. Since she was severely burned when she was a young child, that has sort of cost her beauty, at least the world standard of beauty, and now she is going on an extraordinary adventure of, I guess it seems more like a coming-of-age novel from what I've read about it. It's just, her being a teen, growing up. This seems like a very pure book, and I hope it is, because I don't want to be tricked. Also, this, for some reason, this is a really nice paperback. I just like holding it, and books with like white covers always grab my attention because you never really see that. Okay, next we have Diverse Energies, which is a anthology full of dystopian settings from past, present, future, other worlds. It really is quite an interesting concept, and let's see, the authors are featuring stories by Paolo. You know what? Never mind. A bunch of these are. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try my best to pronounce all the names right, but I have a hard enough time pronouncing words of European origin. Stupid dyslexia. Anyway, Paolo Bacigalupi. Galupie. I think it's Galupie? Baki Galupi. If I was on TikTok, I would totally be canceled for this. K. Tempest Bradford. Rakul Kanakia. Hey! Raja Khanna. I think that's how it is. Ursula K. Leguin. Ken Lu. Melinda Lowe. Ellen O. Cindy Pond. Greg Van Eekholt. Daniel H. Wilson. I know I got a lot of those names wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna be laughing stock of booktube. Anyway, so I love dystopian novels, so reading an anthology should be really cool. Next we have A Death-Struck Year. Does this remind you of anything? When I first saw this, I'm like, is this gonna be about COVID and stuff? Because, novels are coming out set in COVID times, and she is wearing a mask, and that just brings back lovely memories. Anyway, so it is set during the pandemic in the 1918, the flu, the influenza pandemic that actually killed a lot of people and was way worse than COVID ever was. COVID killed people, but not as much. I'm gonna get blocked on YouTube for this. That's the second strike against me, but not that COVID didn't kill people, but it's just it didn't kill as many people as the influenza did. Anyway, so this one girl is quarantined in her boarding school. Her name is Cleo Berry. Cleo. I like saying Cleo in a British accent. It's fun to say Cleo. Anyway, so she's 17 years old, and when the Red Cross comes, she decides she cannot do anything but help. She wants to help, so she joins the Red Cross and comes across a bunch of strangers, a cute doctor, intern, patient, I don't know, someone in that field, and that's basically kind of what it's about. It'll be interesting to read of another pandemic besides reading the news about COVID. we all hated that cursed year of 2020. Oh, especially if you lived in California. Okay, now we have The Truth War by John MacArthur. This is actually the only nonfiction book that I actually scratched that. I kind of got 2 nonfiction books, but this one is by John MacArthur. John MacArthur, for those of you who have grown up under a rock, is a very, very, very good pastor. He's very popular, and he's professor. He's done ministries. I don't know. I don't think he's a professor. I know I used to live near this school. I didn't live like in the city, but I went to that city a lot. It was called Masters University, and he's apparently like the head of it there. I think that's what my friend told me, who actually went there. But he was really an inspiration, especially during like the pandemic and the churches were all closed and stuff. But this is a truth war, fighting for certainty in an age of deception. I love the truth. I love hearing about the truth. That's why I watched the Daily Wire. And it's a call to arms, it says, and it would be interesting to read one day. I've never read really anything, at least to my knowledge, of John MacArthur. Actually, delved into it. So, it'll be interesting. Okay, we have A Curse Dark as Gold. A Curse Dark as Gold is a fairy tale retelling of Rumpelstiltskin by Elizabeth C. Bunce. I like that name. Bunce just has something in it. Basically this girl is named Charlotte Miller. Okay. It finds a way out of debt via golden string, and she has to find out has to make a bargain with the maker of the golden strings or golden thread, whatever. The mysterious Jack Spinner. And she has to save her family's mill and her friends and the person she loves. And she just she needs to discover what power this magical stranger, the Jack Spinner or whatever, has. So I love fairy tale retellings, and this should be very fun to read, I must say. Okay, this is sort of it's my other nonfiction book. I actually got it because I've kind of gotten into books like this, and also my dad really loves books like this. It's called When Tigers Ruled the Sky. Yes, kitties, back in the day there were flying tigers and they ruled the sky. I'm just kidding, or am I? Anyway, so it's set in World War II, and this is before we got involved, so before Pearl Harbor, and Japan was trying to invade China, and China was trying to defend itself because no one likes to be invaded, right? And so they were like, America, can you help us? And President Roosevelt is like, I'm sympathetic, but I don't really want to get involved. Wait, here's what I'll do. You guys need some pilots. Here, let's give you some volunteer pilots. And thus, the Flying Tigers were formed. And this is a day-to-day account, something like that, of Flying Tigers. This should be very educational, and I believe my father would really like this. And it's cool because right now I'm listening to an audiobook called Gladys Aylward, A Journey Like No Other. It's part of this Christian Hero series, and it is very good, and it's actually set around this time too, and I've been reading about when she and a bunch of orphans had to flee because of Japanese soldiers. So this should be very cool to read one day in the far future, whenever I get around to it. Okay, so your girl is really branching out in this book haul with the John MacArthur book and that book. And now I'm going to try to get into the world of graphic novels. Comics interest me. I just don't really read a lot of them. But the ones I have, I've liked. I want to do stuff with comics in the future, so I thought it'd be good to start getting into graphic novels and, kind of just get a feel for it. See what others do. This one is a very amusing looking graphic novel. It says Delilah Dirk and the Pillars of Hercules by Tony Cliff. I take it he's also the artist. And it is about a girl, Delilah Dirk, and her long-suffering accomplice, whatever his name is. They're both explorers, and she gets it into her pretty little head to go solve a millennial-old mystery like you do. And she runs into like this acquaintance, and she's like, yo, take us there. And it's about this journey. And the art, I'll show you a bit of it. Looks really cool. Should be very interesting. Look at these hands. I commend this artist because hands, I hate drawing hands. Okay, next, I really have branched out because I'm going to try reading a manga. I've never read a manga before. My cousin, though, and a few of my friends, they like manga, so just be interesting to try this out. You know, I love reading about different places, and mangas, you know, originate from Japan. So this one is called Marie Paris. When you read it right for the first time. So my dyslexia gets in the way a lot with this stuff. Basically about this girl, she's a high school student, she wants a cozy life, a loving husband, all that jazz. And she thinks there is this school legend that the longer you are not tardy, like the longer you're on, the longer one's not tardy streak is, the better boyfriend one will find. Amen to that, sister. So she's trying to be on time, and then stuff gets in her way, and things get out of control, and just another day as a high school student in Japan. And a boy from a magical kingdom arrives from a magical mirror. That's all I got. And the cool thing about manga, kind of confusing, is that you have to read it from the back. If it's traditionally, like, you know, Japanese style, like they have a guide here and everything. Surprise, maybe you're reading the wrong way. So you have to read it from this way instead of this way. I don't know why Japan is like this, but I'm sure there's a good way. This is the first in a volume. It's not in good condition, but you know what? Whatever. There's a guide, thankfully, to what panels you read first. So yeah, everybody, I'm surrounded by my new companions to my shelf, and usually I would show y'all me putting these on my shelf in my dining room, but the camera I'm using doesn't have enough storage probably for that. So I'm just gonna leave you now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings, and if you're still watching this video, I commend you. Thank you for clicking this and taking a chance on watching your girl go shopping. Kind of, I guess. And I should see you very soon. If all goes to plan, the next videos will have one Louise Taylor in it. So, woo! Everybody look out for that. Stay with us. If you want to see more of us, subscribe. Please leave a like in this video. Leave a comment. Tell me which one of these books, you know, kind of intrigued you or whatever. If you've tried manga, do you have any good mangas you would suggest to your girl? And thank you for watching. Goodbye. Also,